Right-wing pundits are in panic mode as they have been copying and pasting the same tweets in order to cover their backs. GB News host Bev Turner and Dan Wootton shared the exact same message on Twitter. None of the information posted or repeated on this account is known by its author to be false, nor intended to stir racial or any hatred of, nor cause psychological or physical harm to any person of group, howsoever identified. It's like the Facebook scams where boomers say Facebook doesn't have a right to copyright my images or whatever. It's pretty amusing to see the boomification of Twitter, and it's funny to see right-wing individuals demonstrate that they don't know a whole lot about the legal system. Kevin, I mean, this isn't going to make a difference at all, will it? This doesn't act as some kind of legal barrier.
No. I've seen several legal experts, although I didn't need this to be particularly pointed out to me, but it's still good to have it confirmed. I've seen various legal experts saying this is just a denial. This isn't a cover at all. Literally, you might as well have not bothered publishing this and just go in there and say, I didn't do anything wrong, my lord. Because that's the equivalent of what this is. You know, a murderer will go in and say, I didn't stab anyone to death. And then the court has to decide whether they stabbed someone to death or not. This is nothing. This covers nothing. What it does do is show how pathetic they are in terms of having baby brain, for definite, but also how scared they are. And that's very funny. Dan Wootton, feeling it necessary to do this, tells me he has taken, let's say, not great legal counsel and has decided that he needs to do something about this. And it's not just, of course, the riot people that have done this. I think some of the people like J.K. Rowling with her tweets about Monica Leaf, which have now been subsequently deleted, and she's been off Twitter for a week. It's good to see finally some consequences for right-wing shitheads. That for me is a source of enormous happiness. Schadenfreude extreme.
I wonder if J.K. Rowling understands that if you delete things off the internet, it's never really gone. I mean,
well, no, you can
find these tweets. There's screenshots everywhere.
I don't think she does.
Receipts.
I don't think she does understand that. She's become one with the mold now. She has become absorbed by the spores, that to the point where I don't think she understands basic reality. She's a billionaire who lives in a castle filled with mold. I don't think she understands the nature of like the Wayback Machine or anything. Like she knows she's fucked. Her lawyers have told her she's fucked. And so she's about to lose quite a lot of money and respect and possibly face other legal ramifications in the future, which is very funny because you can't go around making baseless claims about people, and you shouldn't be able to either.
If anyone doesn't understand the reference to mold, it's because J.K. Rowling in a profile picture had mold in the background, and then people made a joke that actually we've seen J.K. Rowling become worse and worse and worse, more and more deranged, and it's actually the mold in her house that's caused her to behave like that. And even... Well, I'd say even funnier is that she changed her profile picture because obviously you responded to it. But if you actually look at her latest profile picture, it looks like there's a penis come out her arm.
There's a look. Everyone's got AIDS in their house, maybe that they use for sexual pleasure purposes. You don't leave it sticking out the side of your head in your profile picture. Is all I'm going to say. Just you keep that in the bottom drawer, love. Come on now, let's not be silly.
Now, our producer in the background, he sent a message saying, in capitals, if you copy and paste this, Facebook cannot legally use your profile picture, like and share her XOXO. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it's not remotely surprising given that Elon Musk now runs Twitter, that Twitter has been boomified. Because he is really the king of the 10-year-old stale memes. Literally, he posts, oh my God, this is completely off topic, but whatever. He posted a thing when Trump said he might give him a cabinet position, and it was Department of Government Expenditure or something like that, and the title was Doge, because that was the DOGE was the name of the thing. And you're doing Doge memes in 2024. Go to bed.
He's also in his 50s. He's not a child, but he posts like one.
He really does. It's embarrassing, yeah.
We love a bit of Elon bashing. Now, to get back to these specific individuals, I mean, do you think there's an element of self-awareness? I mean, they're writing this disclaimer because they know what they're sharing is potentially misinformation. Do you think they know that? Or that, I mean, look, we know that a lot of the right have been pushing false information. that's exactly what actually led
Yeah.
to the riots in the first place? Or do you think these pundits truly believe that we're in some kind of communist Britain and it's simply Keir Starmer clamping down on dissent?
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind them calling him two-tier Kia because it is funny and fuck him. But it's not actually a fair criticism. If you look at the way in which the left get treated, if you look at the way Muslims get treated, ethnic minorities get treated by the police and the legal system, the idea that there's a two-tier system and it's against straight white men is absurd, of course. But they do genuinely believe that we've now fallen to communism. The Americans have picked up on this vaguely. Various people going on about, don't go to Britain, it's fallen to the woke communists. Brilliant. Yeah, don't come here. Please don't. I'd be more than happy for you to never come here. You're idiots, clearly.
But who was that convincing? I mean, calling this communist. First of all, unlike, I mean, I was talking about this on Monday with Helena. Unlike the US, where there is a big constituency of those who really care about freedom, it's a big political movement. Over here, let's be honest, a lot of the British people are quite authoritarian, and they like seeing people get harsh sentences. So, I mean, who's it going to convince when you got right-wing pundits saying this is communist Britain because Keir Starmer is going really, really tough on criminals? I feel like people would be like, yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, exactly. You saw from places like the Daily Mail who were kind of edging towards defending the race rioter people. And then all of a sudden, when the idea of slamming the hammer down on them, and giving them massive sentences, all of a sudden they got super hard for it and just came out and was like, yes, throw the book at them, put them in jail forever. So the right wing are going to have to decide, is it two-tier communism, two-tier Kia evil? Or is it actually really good that we're, throwing people in jail for 5 years for stealing some Crocs? Like, you can't have it both ways, guys. But either way, it's. I don't think it's self-awareness on these people's parts. It's fear. It's just fear. They don't want to go to jail, and they realise there's a good chance that they might do. And I'm happy for them to at least feel that fear and to squirm, even if they ultimately don't end up in jail, even if they just get a slap on the wrist or they get ignored completely. The fact that they felt repercussion for their actions is in of itself potentially a very useful societal mechanism, and that's good.
But I think it's quite telling in that message. It says, we do not mean to spread misinformation. We don't mean to cause physical violence. We don't mean to be racist. But I feel that language in of itself is kind of like telling on yourself, saying, well, what I could say may be seen as racist, could be seen as potential harm physically to people from what I share. So, I mean, surely deep down they know they're scumbags.
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely know that, and they revel in it. But they know that the insane right wing echo chamber they live in is very different to the outside world. And so when the rubber hits the road of reality, they have to try and cover themselves in some way. And this is just a pathetic attempt to do so.
Patreon.com, Turn Left Media. Support independent media. Support social justice that's there on social media. Thank you, Turn Left.